public.
Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. Brothers and sisters, this is going to be a quick video. I'm going to take as less time as I can to relay this message to the people. We should not let $1 million slaves, entertainers, speak for us on our causes or our endeavors. When a entertainer speak on our behalf, it's mostly self-interest. Now, Texas native Jamie Foxx joined the chorus of voices wondering how something like the school massacre in Uvalde, Texas could happen in the United States. The comedian, who himself was recently involved in subduing a man who attacked Dave Chappelle, posted 16 Uvalde victims and wrote, "Little angels, my heart goes out to you and your families. Never thought that I would live in a society, a Christian society, where they will let children die over and over again and still not change any laws. If the people in this country are leaders and so-called Christians, if they are going to heaven, I'll pass." Hashtag the devil's busy. Now, Jamie Foxx, where do you think you're at? Do you think you're in a different nation that has existed before you were born? Jamie Foxx is at least 55 years old. If he's not 55 yet, he'd be 55 this year. Born 1967. There's no way that Jamie Foxx know that this nation is wicked as hell when it comes to its citizens, yet in particular, Black people. Aiyana Jones was a 7-year-old little Black girl sleeping on her grandmother's bed in Detroit when Detroit Police Department was executing a search warrant in the wrong house, looking for a murder suspect, and shot little Aiyana Jones in the head, murdering her, and the police officer walked. The authorities killed our children. As horrific and terrible it was that 19 children and 2 teachers died because some jackass walked up into a school and decided that he wanted to murder children and teachers. That's horrible. But where was Jamie Foxx's voice when people died in Buffalo? Is it because these people were in Texas and Buffalo, New York, and Texas is 3,000 miles apart? Or have you risen above the condition of your people that much, or far removed from your people that much, that you can't even tell that racism exists? Because you're recognizable. If you're stopped, you're recognizable on the street to the authorities, that you have risen above being pulled over and harassed by the police. So you never thought that you would live in a Christian society that let children die. They bombed churches and killed 4 girls in churches. They shoot little children down in the street. They go into elementary schools and put handcuffs on 6, 7, and 8-year-old Black children. Handcuffs. They mace children. They slam little girls out of their desk to the ground and put their knees on their back. They smash little Black boys' faces into concrete and asphalt, all because he was recording the police when the police were violating his peers' rights. I don't know where Jamie Foxx think he is, but he think he's risen above the condition of his people. And you don't hear these Negroes' voices when something happened to little Black children or Black people in particular. You had these dumb Negroes walking around wearing Stop Asian Hate t-shirts like Common, but you don't hear his voice. Common has knowledge of self. And it seems like these Negroes, these entertainers, it's about self-interest. It's not about our people. Yet they'll take these Negroes and put them before our people as if as a representative of our people. They'll pay them off. That's why I say they're sellouts, because it's self-interest and it doesn't benefit the totality of our people. That's why we shouldn't let millionaires or $1 million slaves, as I say, represent us in our endeavors. They shouldn't represent us in our causes, because it's a bunch of self-interest going on, and all they're worried about is their next paycheck. Some of these entertainers are getting $25 million a movie, $10 million a movie, $15 million a movie, and they're still sellouts. They're still punks. Like, you take Nick Cannon, for instance. He had a very powerful show. Cannon's Class was dope, but he brought Professor Griff on, and he knew he had to come correct with the information when it came to Professor Griff. And when Professor Griff came on the show to do an interview, it was a beautiful dialogue, a beautiful build. And it almost cost Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon wants to wild out. Nick Cannon wants to see who's the masked singer is. Nick Cannon wants to sit at an iced out piano wearing Fruity Colors and sing along. He wants to do that over liberating his people. He wants to do that over liberating his people. And when he decided that he wanted to show Professor Griff how much he knew, which was a lot, the brother was sharp. He gave correct historical facts. The information he gave was correct. Yet, when those people, certain people, heard about it, they set out to punish him. And he had Abraham Cooper on his show, sitting across him, a white man sitting across the table from a black man, playing victim. And then Nick Cannon capitulated. He played victim to Nick Cannon and told Nick Cannon that he started giving statistics on what Jewish people went through. But he said that to a black man. That is hypocrisy, and that is audacity to say that to a black man, what Jewish people went through. What the Jewish people went through wasn't good, but you cannot say that to a black man. It's wrong to say that to a black man. You can say that to anybody else but a black man about your atrocities, when our atrocities remain. Jewish people have gotten and continuously get reparations for what happened to them, the Holocaust. But our Holocaust continues, and we have paid hell of a cost to this day in the wilderness of North America. But Nick Cannon capitulated. That's why we get excited when you see an entertainer speaking knowledge or showing a little fortitude. Yet when the entertainment industry start pulling stuff back from them, quote unquote, canceling them, they capitulate. They act like they don't care about our people, or they pull back from what they said. Now, Lil Wayne, he said that racism doesn't exist in America because he was, at age 13, 14 years old, an entertainer and recognizable. Not that I don't call them celebrities. I just call them entertainers, because I don't celebrate none of them because they're not worth it. Now, the only one that I mentioned on this broadcast that I could celebrate is Professor Griff, because he's been steadfast. He's been speaking truth to power on behalf of our people for decades, at least 3 decades, over 3 decades. But these other cats, they'll talk tough, they'll speak this knowledge, but when it comes to putting in the work, and when somebody question them about it, they capitulate. You're going to hear that word a lot. That means they wave the white flag. They give the hell up. And Abraham Cooper really didn't have a problem with the interview with Professor Griff. That wasn't the real big problem that he had. The problem was July 4th, 2020. That was a real problem. When he was seen with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that was the real problem. When he was seen with him at the Criterion, that was the real problem. And Abraham Cooper made it known because he kept mentioning the minister's name during their frequent interviews. Turns out that Abraham Cooper frequent the show more than anybody who ever been on the show. He had some powerful people on Cannon's Class. I don't even know if he do it anymore. It's best that he don't do it, because you know why? Every time Abraham Cooper call him, he's gonna have to let him come on that show and spill his propaganda. And I would rather give the show up too. I would have given it up too. But we shouldn't let $1 million slaves represent us, because it's self-interest. It's not in the interest or best interest of our people. It's a trick bag. When they put entertainers in front of us, athletes in front of us to speak for us, that's the trick bag. Because what they do, if they're controlling this athlete, if they're controlling this entertainer, they're controlling us through them if they influence us. So we shouldn't let them influence us, because they push the wrong agendas and they're not of our best interest. That's something we have to give up. Automatically, when you see a entertainer put out there by the authorities or the government or even the media, shun it. Because they may sound good, but they are not of our best interest. This is the Enemy's Public. I am Brother Nasir. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section. Peace. The Enemy's Public.